The Chargers have long been known for almost making it but falling short. In 1995, they played their only Super Bowl in franchise history, losing to the 49ers led by Steve Young. During the Philip Rivers era, they were often close, but never reached the Super Bowl. Now, they have another talented quarterback in Justin Herbert, yet they still haven't secured a playoff win under his leadership. Last season was a disaster, but this year, they've appointed Jim Harbaugh as head coach. Despite still being in a rebuilding phase, this offers opportunities. Our challenge with the Chargers: reach the Super Bowl within 3 years without trades, and ideally, win it. Let's start by looking at the current Chargers roster. At the quarterback position, we're obviously set with our young quarterback Justin Herbert, who has an 88 overall rating. The wide receiver position feels quite thin for the Chargers, with Joshua Palmer as the main guy, but big question marks around DJ Chark and Quentin Johnston. However, we have high expectations for rookie Ladd McConkey. On the tackle positions, we seem solid with Rashawn Slater and rookie Joe Alt. On defense, we rely heavily on our pass rush with Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. Both veterans need to be the backbone of our defense alongside safety Derwin James. Our linebackers are young but have potential. The same goes for our cornerbacks, with Asante Samuel as the #1 cornerback, but there's room for improvement behind him. So we're hitting the free agent market for some veterans. We start with Xavier Howard and J.C. Jackson to boost our cornerback room. Lastly, we bring in former standout receiver Michael Thomas to lead the wide receivers. After all his injuries, he's a big question mark, but we're willing to take the risk. We kick off the season against our divisional rivals, the Las Vegas Raiders, with a strong start. Michael Thomas scores a touchdown, and rookie Ladd McConkey makes a spectacular debut with a kickoff return touchdown. What a way to score your first touchdown.
A crease here as he's past the 30. Up to midfield. Look at him go inside the 30. He will take this all the way. Touchdown Chargers.
In Week 2, we easily defeat the weak Panthers, bringing us to 2-0 as we visit the Steelers. As expected, their strong defense proves to be a tough nut to crack. With 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, we need a 2-point conversion to tie the game, but J.K. Dobbins is stopped at the line. We can't stop the Steelers afterward, leading to our first loss of the season. In Week 4, we face our feared rival, the Kansas City Chiefs, for the first time. We have an explosive first half, highlighted by Gus Edwards taking the ball 75 yards to the house on the first play of the game and scoring his second touchdown shortly after. Before halftime, Michael Thomas puts us up 21-7, and the Chiefs can't recover.
Right back to Thomas. He's got it again.
A touchdown pass to Will Dissly in the corner of the end zone seals the game at the start of the fourth quarter. We continue our strong streak and head into Week 7 against the Browns with 6 wins and just that one loss to the Steelers. The Browns are 2-6, so I expect a relatively easy win. However, it's called Any Given Sunday in the NFL for a reason, and what follows is an epic battle. Both defenses struggle, and by the end of the third quarter, it's tied 28-28 with the Browns on 2nd and goal. Deshaun Watson decides to throw, and Derwin James makes a user pick reminiscent of Malcolm Butler's interception in Super Bowl 49. We take the lead with a field goal, but there's just under a minute left for the Browns to score. Deshaun Watson has the ball on his own 30-yard line, and on 2nd and 5, he tries to hit Njoku for the first down. But out of nowhere, Henley snatches it out of the air for the second back-breaking interception, sealing the game for us. We're now about halfway through the season, proudly sitting atop the AFC West, but with the surprising Broncos hot on our heels. Next up is the game against the 7-3 Bengals, another epic battle. The Bengals are unstoppable and open the scoring, but we tie it up with Joshua Palmer making a defender look foolish. We briefly take the lead, but the Bengals score again. With less than a minute to go before halftime, we get one more chance to score in the first half. Disaster strikes when Davis fumbles the return on our 25-yard line, allowing the Bengals to score easily and extend their lead to 23-14 at halftime. In the second half, we aim to start strong and perhaps get a bit too eager as Herbert's deep pass is intercepted. Fortunately, our defense holds, keeping us within 10 points. After a strong drive, we close the gap to 3 points with a touchdown from J.K. Dobbins. With 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Burrow tries to seal the game for the Bengals, but his pass is underthrown, and Elijah Molden intercepts it, seemingly heading for a sensational pick six. However, we get cocky and celebrate too early. Molden fumbles the ball through the end zone, resulting in a disappointing touchback for the Bengals. But our defense steps up immediately with a sack by Joey Bosa, followed by a sensational safety, bringing us right back into the game with just a 1-point deficit. Dobbins once again proves his class with a strong touchdown run to take the lead, followed by a successful 2-point conversion to extend our lead to 7 points. With less than 2 minutes left in the final quarter, Joe Burrow has to step up, but Xavier Howard reads his eyes perfectly. He undercuts the receiver's route, intercepts Burrow, and secures our victory against the Bengals with a final score of 31-24. Against the Ravens, we have another thrilling battle where we miss the game-winning field goal just before time expires. Fortunately, we clinch the win in overtime with a walk-off touchdown pass to Will Dissly. With a slight lead over the Chiefs, we head to Arrowhead in Week 14 for another intense night of football. The Chiefs take the lead, and with just over a minute left and no timeouts, we start our final drive of the night, trailing by 3 points. We need at least a field goal to force overtime. Herbert finds his receivers easily outside the numbers, and with just 20 seconds off the clock, we're already at the halfway line. Herbert connects with McConkey at the 25-yard line, but the clock keeps ticking with no timeouts left. With 30 seconds on the clock, Herbert finds tight end Hayden Hurst, who finds the end zone, giving us a 4-point lead over the Chiefs with 25 seconds to go. But we're talking about Mahomes, and incredibly, he manages to give his team a chance from the 30-yard line with 6 seconds left for the Hail Mary.
He'll let this go towards the end zone. And penalty flags come in as it winds up incomplete, but no doubt.
So, after a questionable pass interference call, the Chiefs get one last chance to win from the 1-yard line. Everything is on the line here.
One last shot now for Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
And so we secure the victory at Arrowhead, clinching our spot in the playoffs. We simulate 3 games, losing all of them, which puts our second place at risk from the Bengals. So in Week 18, we have to give it our all to beat the Raiders. Fortunately, the 4-12 Raiders pose no problem for us at Allegiant Stadium. Thus, in Season 1 under Herbert's leadership, we make it to the playoffs, where we'll face Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills in the wildcard round. The game is incredibly close throughout all 4 quarters. We open the scoring with Joshua Palmer, but the Bills come back. We take the lead again with a touchdown from Michael Thomas, but the Bills respond once more. Crucially, they miss their extra point, giving us a 1-point lead. At the start of the final quarter, we extend our lead to 8 points with another touchdown from Palmer. On 4th and 2, the Bills score a touchdown, but to tie the game, they need to convert the 2-point attempt. And we make the play with Derwin James. Unbelievable, what a feeling. But the game isn't over yet, and our offense can't put the Bills away for good. So Josh Allen gets one more drive with less than a minute on the clock to make a field goal for the win. On 3rd and 13, Henley makes a crucial pass breakup, forcing the Bills to attempt a long 55-yard field goal for the victory. What an end to the wild-card round. Our journey this season continues into the divisional round against a familiar foe, Joe Burrow and the Bengals. The game starts off slow for both offenses, and it's not until the end of the first quarter that the first touchdown is scored, thanks to an improvising Burrow finding Jamar Chase. After this touchdown, we start to find our rhythm on offense. Gus Edwards finally establishes a solid running game, and through play-action fakes, Herbert connects with our teammates, ultimately leading to a touchdown by Dobbins to tie the game. With a minute and a half left before halftime and on a 3rd and 12, we find Dobbins underneath. The Bengals are in man-to-man coverage, and with a great block from Michael Thomas, Dobbins takes it all the way to the house, putting us ahead 17-10. But on the first play after the kickoff, the Bengals strike back mercilessly with a touchdown from T. Higgins, who beats Asante Samuel. But the halftime spectacle isn't over yet. This time, the Bengals leave McConkey completely open, and with a shocking score just before halftime, we head into the break with the lead once again. Our defense holds strong against the mighty Bengals offense, and Herbert orchestrates a brilliant drive, ending with a quarterback scramble for a touchdown, giving us a 2-score lead. However, the Bengals claw back at the start of the final quarter, reducing our lead to 5 points. With 3 minutes left on the clock, we have a chance to extend our lead to 8 points with a field goal. But my timing is completely off, resulting in a laughable miss. And so the Bengals get the ball back with 3 minutes on the clock starting at midfield. Then, on second down, Joe goes for his man Chase.
The shotgun, Burrow. A crucial mistake late. It's intercepted.
Asante Samuel Jr. reads Joe Burrow like a book and picks him off at the perfect moment. We don't let this momentum slip and seal the game with another J.K. Dobbins touchdown run, sending us through to the AFC Championship game, where we'll face the Baltimore Ravens. Against the Ravens, we start with a brilliant opening drive that ends in a touchdown by Michael Thomas, taking up almost the entire first quarter. However, the Ravens strike back, with Zay Flowers proving too strong for our defense, making catch after catch. But due to poor clock management by the Ravens, the second quarter ends without them scoring, despite their red zone possession. After the break, the Ravens take the lead with a touchdown from Rashad Bateman, forcing the Chargers to play catch-up. Herbert first connects with Michael Thomas on a deep ball, and then immediately finds former Raven Hayden Hurst with another deep pass. The other former Raven, J.K. Dobbins, ties the game with a minute left in the third quarter. The Ravens respond quickly once again. Midway through the final quarter, Zay Flowers catches a touchdown pass, putting the Ravens back in the lead. With just over 2 minutes on the clock, Herbert leads a beautiful drive for the Chargers. He finds his receivers left and right, ultimately leading to another score by J.K. Dobbins, who turns it into a true revenge game against his former team. Unfortunately, the first play of the Ravens' drive goes terribly wrong for us. Lamar Jackson throws a high-arching pass to Nelson Agholor, and defenders Molden and Gilman completely miss their coverage. Agholor can't be caught, and puts the Ravens back up by 7 points. With less than a minute to play, and 3 timeouts in hand, we have to chase the game once more to keep our Super Bowl hopes alive. We convert multiple third downs and manage the clock well. With 16 seconds left, time is running out. And so, our Super Bowl dream in our first season with the Chargers comes to an end after Hayden Hurst's painful fumble. Ultimately, it's the Ravens who win the Super Bowl against the Green Bay Packers, with Derrick Henry as the Super Bowl MVP. Although our players didn't win any individual awards, we can look back on a beautiful and successful season. Justin Herbert finished the regular season with over 4,200 passing yards and 35 touchdowns to just 13 interceptions. Dobbins ended the season as our rushing leader with 855 yards. Despite sharing the load with Gus Edwards, he had fewer overall rushing yards, but still managed 12 rushing touchdowns and 4 receiving touchdowns. The gamble on veteran Michael Thomas paid off with a 1,000-yard receiving season. Palmer led the team with 9 receiving touchdowns, but notably, Herbert spread the ball well among different receivers. Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa also proved their worth with a combined 22.5 sacks. That brings us to the end of Season 1 with the Chargers. Enjoy our top 15 plays from this first season, and see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.
On play action, it's Herbert.
Running it again with Dobbins. And he gets into the end zone.
That was a good one there.
That is going to be...
Herbert from the gun. Quick hitter complete. Now he's past the 25. And he will score. Touchdown.
By the time he was able to get through his progression to his check down, he ran out of time.
Oh, he tried to get away.
To this moment in the game, your quarterback needs to be on point. After that first...
And that would be the dagger. It's intercepted.
First and 10. Here's Herbert. He fires one deep down the road. That's complete.
And now you face a big uphill battle if you want to extend this drive.
Back to throw it. Nice pass complete over the middle to the tight end. into the red zone. And somehow they
One of
reach.
his biggest bright spots. Usually that doesn't go hand in hand, so it's a little surprising to see him miss it.
That's over the middle and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker. And Denzel. Now off the bootleg. He'll look to throw here. That is caught. Back corner.
Out of the gun, here's Watson. And oh, he got it! Interception! And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in. Now to throw. That could be it, folks. It's intercepted. Pass, here's second down. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. A crucial mistake late. It's
So just a
intercepted.
3-point game now as they send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Up to midfield. Look at him go inside the 30. He will